Alright, so I'm here just to add my 2 cents to the recent news. I mean, Legend says he's going to quit making content, and there's been a lot of fuss over what was discovered in the new update for Lizardmen and Tomb Kings. So I finished the Tomb Kings campaign and it went okay. I won as Khalida. I wondered why I didn't have any opposition from Cetra, who's usually pretty powerful when you play Tomb Kings. And I've been playing this, or I had been playing this Lizardmen campaign as the Last Defenders. And I found both updates to the Lizardmen and the Tomb Kings to be relatively underwhelming. The Tomb Kings were changed quite a bit. They were changed to a different version of a low-tier, crappy faction. They're still weak. They're still... They lack a threat. I mean, when you fight against them as a player, we don't fear the Tomb Kings. And when you play as the Tomb Kings, if you don't have multiple armies, especially as Khalida, against the armored foes around you, you're going to be in trouble. The Tomb Kings, they just don't have any power to them. Now the Lizardmen, sure, they are better than they were. I don't even know where Krokgar is. Where the hell is he? The new blessed units system is better. You can get more blessed points to buy blessed units. There are usually quite a few of them available. That was definitely an improvement. Their economy is a little bit better, but the geomantic web, it's still, what the hell? It doesn't do anything for you. It increases some of your rights, but what is the purpose of an entire building chain and an entire mechanic that doesn't do anything? And then, of course, I keep wondering, I didn't really pay any attention to the community very much. I kept wondering why Tic-Tac-Toe kept getting just shit hammered by everybody. Well, it turns out he's not doing anything. And it turns out if I get over here, I'm probably going to find that these guys haven't done anything. So maybe they'll be easy to confederate since they'll be so weak, if they even survive. And my issue is I have a hard time when somebody doesn't do their job as well as I do my job. And I understand as an engineer that a game is a complex system. But the problem you have is that we're paying for some of this stuff. For example, the Tomb Kings are a weak faction. They've always been a weak faction. They've been modded 2 or 3 times. Their growth was changed multiple times. And the problem is with the Tomb Kings are a DLC. You don't get to play the Tomb Kings unless you've paid extra money to the company. So you paid them to make a crappy faction that's cool, but powerless, useless, and requires modding constantly. The same thing with the Beastmen. The Beastmen are a paid DLC. Okay, you pay to play the Beastmen, you pay for the Silence and the Fury, you pay for Oxyotl, and they're broken right now. They're a turd. So if I'm not talking about core game mechanics, I'm talking about the terrible state of DLC that we paid for. And then there are just ongoing bugs. For example, the gate bug. I first discovered the gate bug when I was playing as Arkan, and I took his Tomb Scorpion into one of these dwarven settlements, and it got stuck in the gate. The gate bug is where the enemy is going to sally out and the gate opens, and your units start moving through the gate, and then the enemy backs off the gate, which should close the gate, but it actually leaves the gate open and you physically open in the graphics while your unit is stuck in the gate space. Can take damage, can get hit, and it can't do anything. So that bug has been around for 5 years. There's another bug, the Beastmen bug. Beastmen are paid DLC, but if you play as the Beastmen, all settlements look like they're raised, and so you have to spend time clicking around finding out where you can actually go to conquer a settlement. And the most infuriating bug for me is the hero queue bug. If you have a set of heroes in an army, let's see if I've got one. Probably only have heroes in this one. So let's say you have a bunch of heroes. Okay, so this guy is going to scout, and the next one over is going to train, and the next one over is going to replenish troops, and then maybe you have one for movement. And the way that the game does it is the most recent addition or the most recently leveled up hero is the one whose ability will kick in. So this guy here, he's got 17% casualty replenishment rate. If I was to put a new hero in this army that was only 5% replenishment, that's what would take over. And if I have these two heroes, the one that I most recently leveled up, his replenishment rate is used. It is the absolute simplest of programming steps. A table, an if-then statement. If your replenishment rate is higher than somebody else, then the replenishment rate equals your replenishment rate. If your replenishment rate is less than somebody else's, then find somebody else. It's the most completely simple of if-then statements. I understand it's a complex system. I understand that they're importing blocks of code that return broken mechanics that weren't fixed when they took that block out to fix it. I'm assuming that they do a lot of program. There are subroutines that go into and call up the code for individual factions. I don't know what their architecture is. I don't really care. Fix the bugs that are years old. So I haven't played the game. It was very much a case of the updates to two factions I was looking to play. I played them both. They were underwhelming, and it knocked all the steam out of me wanting to play. I haven't even wanted to go in and play the Elves. I haven't wanted to go in and play the Empire. I haven't wanted to go in and play the Beastmen. All the factions that I love, and I sure as shit don't want to play factions that I'm not interested in. So, if the idea is, oh, we're going to sell this new DLC at Update 7.0, it's selling shit to me because I'm not interested. Fix the fucking bugs that we're paying you to fix. That's all I'm saying. So, if you're still playing, that's terrific. Is the hobby over? Is the interest in Warhammer going to be done if Legend quits? No, there's plenty of people making product, but he was getting 60, 70, 80,000 views per video. Those views, I guess they're going to go somewhere else, but they're not going to find content like that anywhere else. And I'm sure shit not going to make it, and Anticity is not going to make it, and Turin's not going to make it. Mercy might make it, I guess. He might take over that mantle. Cultist of Corn, maybe he'll do that. Maybe some of the other guys that I don't normally watch. But as far as I'm concerned, the update to the Lizardmen and the update to the Tomb Kings was totally underwhelming, and it's ruined by the fact that their factions don't do anything. I mean, what are you doing that you don't just go find this problem and fix it? And I'll give you an example. And I know it's an extreme example, and I know it's not necessarily a popular example, but I think about something like Nintendo. My wife and my daughter play Nintendo games. They have forever on the Game Boy, on the GameCube. We've had a Wii. We've had both Switches. I have never, ever seen my wife or daughter play a game on those platforms that had game-breaking bugs in them that went years without being fixed. Because you know what would happen? If there was some kind of glitch or some kind of exploit in Mario Kart, Nintendo would call every fucking coder alive back into the studio to fix it the very day that it was discovered. And I expect something like that from CA. Maybe not the day that it's discovered, sure. But within 5 days, 5 weeks, sure. 5 fucking years and these bugs haven't been fixed, or they literally reappear the moment there's some kind of bug fix. My patience has run out. The game could be absolutely the greatest game of all time. but it's one of those things that's great in spite of itself, not because of itself. So, will I buy the DLC? I don't know. I don't even know who's in it. But for fuck's sake, can we please fix the bugs that are 5 years old? Otherwise, you're not getting any more of my money.